Hi everyone, I'm Trainer Isabel and welcome back to Young Engineers. Today is lesson 4 of a 10-part series where we learn about science, technology, engineering and mathematics in a cool, fun and exciting manner. Let's begin by recapping lesson 3. In lesson 3, we learn about friction and the two types of friction: sliding friction and rolling friction. We also learned that rolling friction has drastically less friction than that of a sliding friction. We also learned mathematics on perimeter. Perimeter is the sum of the length of all the sides. We also built a model called the turning basket. Have you uploaded your assessment into the assessment box? Great job if you have done so. And now, let's give a round of applause for our individuals who have made the best turning basket model. Now that we have recapped lesson 3, let's move on to today's lesson proper. In today's lesson, we're going to learn about how machines work. Right now, think about the machines that you have in your house and write them down in the Seesaw forum. There's some examples of machines that you can find in your house, such as the fan, the can opener, the clock, and even the kitchen blender. Have you ever wondered how these machines work? These machines work by using a tool called gears. So what are gears? Let's watch this video to find out
some
more.
gears to it. Now this is two gears. Two gears connected together are a gear train. A gear train is more than one gear that are meshed together. So we'll take this gear train and attach it to the motor. When we start the motor, the gear train starts to spin. The first gear, the one attached to the motor, is called the driving gear. A driving gear supplies the power or the force for a gear train. The second gear in the gear train is known as the driven gear. A driven gear does not have its own source of power. Now notice that these two gears are spinning in opposite directions. That happens when we mesh gears together. If we take a close look at the two gears, we can see that the teeth push against each other. The driving gear pushes down on the teeth of the driven gear, so both gears move down in the middle. And that means they end up both spinning in opposite directions.
Now, having watched the video, we learned more about gears. Now let's learn how to use them. In the kit in front of you, take out the parts as seen in this slide. Connect the pieces together. You'll be able to see that to make the gears work, they must touch each other, or they must interlock with each other. And when you spin one of those gears, you'll notice that they move in the opposite direction. Now in the video, we learned about a driving gear and a driven gear. When we use our movement action to move the driving gear, it transmits the movement to that of a driven gear. This transmission is called gear transmission. Now, a quick quiz. Who can tell me which one is the driving gear in this slide? Is it the red question mark or the black question mark? If you answered the red question mark, you are correct. This is because your action moves the driving gear, which transmits the movement to the driven gear. Now that you learned a bit more about gears, let's move on to today's model. Go to Building Sheet. Download Delivery Box. Follow the steps to create your delivery box. The steps in red are enhancements. You do not need to do them if you do not have the time. Now before we build, let's recap our 4 rules. Our first rule, only use the parts in your kit. Our second rule, always count. Our third rule, colors do not matter unless they are pins. And our last rule, always prepare yourself before class starts. If you need a recap of the rules and how to count, you can refer back to lesson 1. Are we ready to build? Let's start building! Now that we completed building, have you tried out the delivery box yet? Do you have time to build in the enhancements? Well, let's build in the enhancements and test out the model. You'll notice how the gears move the wheels of the delivery box. Once again, upload the video of your models into your assessment box. We'll be voting for the best model next week. We came to the end of the lesson. I hope you learned something about gears and gear transmission. See you next time. Bye!